last week. This is the position they need to be in, but the problem is it's 3rd and short for Oregon, so they can do anything in their offense right here.
Lyerla splits out. They'll even use him, number 15, as a running back. Pressure coming. Quarterback keeper. Plenty of room. Mariota. No one around him. And he outruns the entire Virginia defense for 71 yards. Well, he averaged 22.5 yards a carry last week. That's gone up. And they will force you to defend extra points. Oregon will do anything. They'll spread the field to see what the defense does. Now they see a defense they think will stop it, and they'll bring it back in for the place kicker.
I love that wrinkle on your special teams. It gives the other team so much to think about during the week and doesn't take long to do.
And they fake it after they go back in kick formation. And it's the holder, Dustin Haynes. Well, just when Virginia settles in and said, okay, they're going to kick it, they run a trick play.
Yeah, and the trouble for Virginia head coach Mike London is on both of these, the touchdown and the two-point conversion, there is nobody over the top on defense. There is no safety near Mariota, and on that two-point conversion, there was no one to execute.
Thomas up the middle, bumps a defender, and then walks in. 14-0 Oregon at the 7:15 mark. Now what will they do for the PAT this time?
And the hard part, for Virginia, you start to get...
Would have been a great catch. Instead, it turns into an interception. Thomas, look at that quickness. Good grief. Thomas. Jake Fisher threw him a block at the corner. At least two guys had an angle. Two guys had to be able to get him, and neither one of them even touched him.
Jake Fisher completely got the edge. That was exactly what John Tenuta said couldn't happen to this Virginia defense. And the speed, boy, how did he stay in? Sure looked like he did. They're not reviewing it, but that speed, the speed of the quarterback of Oregon, and now the speed of DeAnthony Thomas.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
This year, if there is a scoring play, it must be reviewed, and the officials must wait for it before the point after.
Well, but if you're Virginia, and in the first drive you see Marcus Mariota, who Mariota isn't the quickest guy in the world, but his top end speed is really good. And then you've got this guy who takes a toss sweep and outruns everybody, including your safety, Brandon Phelps. The right foot is in. The left foot is in. Okay, so here's an interesting rule. The ball actually goes outside the pylon.
Stands as called.
Yep.
It is a touchdown.
The ball went outside the pylon. In college football, to get what's called goal line extended, meaning the goal line goes out of bounds, the offensive player has to touch the pylon or in the end zone, which DeAnthony Thomas did, so therefore it's a touchdown.
The point after by Maldonado is good, and Oregon is just destroying the Cavaliers. They're up 21-0. Thomas simply outran a shot at him to stop him for a short gain. Instead, it turns into 28 yards.
That looked to me like Daquan Romero was afraid to go finish the tackle. He got there, slowed down, went to stop because of the movement of DeAnthony Thomas, and got stiff-armed.
Flanker screen, Braylon Addison, touchdown. Hamani Stevens got out there and threw him a nice block. And Braylon Addison, who they think can be a playmaker for 3 years to come, he's only a sophomore, gets the 4th touchdown for the Ducks today. if you're a defensive player, this has just got to be a blinding rhythm.
Well, when they run a system like this and spread you out and then have the athletes like that, there just comes a point where how do you play defense? The open of the show, we showed you Marcus Mariota, we showed you DeAnthony Thomas. We said, yeah, but they've got this new guy, number 11, Braylon Addison.
To the outside, nice cutback down to the 3. DeAnthony Thomas, and it's a touchdown. His 3rd score of the ball game. That is some special runner.
And Virginia had it defended. Standing right there, ready to make the tackle on the backside is the strong safety, Anthony Harris, and unfortunately, Thomas has that ability to put his foot in the ground and go the other direction, I think, faster than anybody in the country. I think DeAnthony Thomas' change of direction it's as good as I've seen. I played with a guy named Napoleon Kaufman at the University of Washington.
Oh, yeah.
And this guy may be even in change of direction quicker than Napoleon was.
They will kick it conventionally with Maldonado.
Well, the only way to make it look like you might have a chance is to put it at 200 frames a second and watch him cut back. But that cut, there was no chance for Harris to make it.
The same option, and the officials will wait until the players can make that exchange. Flanker screen, low, touchdown. Got so many different ways to hurt you. Josh Huff at 5'11", 190 threw him a block to spring him, and Keenan Lowe did the rest. They run a couple of plays, doesn't look like much, and then boom.
The way you play defense in this game has changed so drastically. In the last 10 years, how do you defend that? If you have this much speed and you're Virginia, how do you defend that?
Apparently not very well. Nobody does. Nobody has.
Offensive mate see that he was tackled by a 300-pound offensive tackle.
Jeff Lockie is the new quarterback, and the new running back, Thomas Tyner, the 5-star recruit out of Aloha, Oregon. And when we talk about kids coming out of high school with big reputations, let me throw a number at you. 643 yards and 10 touchdowns. Doesn't sound like much, but that was one game. 643 and 10
and
in one game.
All of the Oregon fans who are still here are so happy to finally see number 24 on the field. Young man sprained his ankle during training camp. There was a penalty on the PAT for Oregon, but this young man came in as a huge recruit. 10.35 in the 100 meters at 211 pounds, and the coaches said it's not been since 2007 with Jonathan Stewart, who was an All-American, that we've had this combination of size and speed, and not bad. First carry of his collegiate career, 6 points, not bad.
Good way to start. Oregon.
That linebacker spot, it's awfully tough when there goes Tyner. Well, there's that speed that
holy smokes.
But this is an offensive line touchdown, though, here, because it doesn't take 10.35 in the 100 meters to run this touchdown after the blocking young Tyner had up front.
That's all right. He'll claim it anyway.
Backup offensive line in. Nice block by true freshman right tackle Cameron Hunt in there for Jake Fisher. So a lot of young guys, but in talking to Nick Aliotti, the defensive coordinator from Oregon, that's his concerns at linebacker. I think a team like Stanford that can run it, they could start to wear this group out potentially.
Well, Tyner's only played 2 minutes and 12 seconds in his career. Not a bad start. 51 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Just as advertised, I guess, huh?